And now I just heard that David Lynch's grandfather is Finnish, so that might explain a bit of the weirdness, because Finns, when they are artistically involved with something, it always tends to be a bit left of the center. It's never the pure mainstream, poppy thing. There seems to be always something weird happening. So that's one of the reasons why, I love Tim Burton as well. A lot of different, not necessarily directors so much, but certain films from certain periods, and Hitchcock, of course. That's the way we were brought up. We were brought up by listening to sweet, sad, melancholic Finnish music. On the other hand, listening to Kiss and Rolling Stone and all that stuff. So we didn't kind of like artistically want to restrict ourselves when we started the band, but rather try to, have all of our influences coming together and hopefully creating some kind of a unique cocktail. So, and visuals have always been really important to rock and roll music. I'm a big fan of Led Zeppelin and Sabbath, and Zeppelin had the 4 symbols on the 4th album, and Sabbath had really strong the logo, and then the kind of like inverted cross version of the logo and stuff like that. And I thought that it would be beautiful because, let's say as simple symbol as a Christian cross is traveled pretty well. Such a simple thing, and there's very many of us. So it's cool to be able to have a mixture. It's like a yin and yang version of a yin and yang by a guy who's been brought up by watching and reading, populistic stuff that was created from 60s on. All the horror movies and everything like that. That's the way I see life. It's about the balance. I think it's about educating yourself. I think we have an educational purpose as a band, for people to watch good movies and read good books and try to educate themselves onto a level that they can have a decent conversation. For example, with us. So we are really happy that most of the people that have been following us around seem to be pretty intellectual in a positive way. So of course, the way you look is very important as well, because through that you represent your thoughts and your place in life and how you feel and what forces you are fighting against. Well, it's just a nice little ditty. It was just we recorded all of the 10 songs. We didn't have any ideas what's going to be a single and whatnot. And then at the end of the studio session, we just thought that this very well represents what we have been and what we are now. It's got the trademark hymn things and hopefully something new in production as well. And kind of like pseudo-poetic lyricism involved there too. So it's always interesting to talk with people who have been ripping the wings out of a butterfly, and who's been blowing up frogs and shooting pigeons. That's what kids do every now and then. Well, now we had the great opportunity for Wings of Butterfly's first single. We did the first video for that particular track, and we're now planning on to do Killing Anonymous, which is second, but I'm not sure when it's going to happen and where. But the first one was directed by a fellow called Mayet Avis, an Irishman, who's been working, for example, with U2. He's done all the classic, like With or Without You, the black and white one. I think Where the Streets Have No Name, stuff like that. And now he just finished shooting his first, or directing his first feature-length film, stuff like that. And he was just a crazy artistic fellow, looking a bit like Albert Einstein, with crazy grey hair and very spooky ideas. And that's the reason why we wanted to use it. We shot it in an old train station called Union Station in downtown Los Angeles, and a peculiar place because it's been also used for one of my favorite films of all time, which is Blade Runner. So it was kind of cool being there. It was a night shoot, so it was good for me too, because I hate waking up 5 o'clock in the morning. So instead of that, we got to stay up until 5 o'clock in the morning. So that was good fun. Drinking beer and enjoying the moment. But it's very hard to explain. It's kind of psychedelic. We're performing through these old weird lenses and like technology that doesn't really exist, and you got to see it for yourself. But it's visually, it's pretty dark, but it's pretty cinematic at the same time. And cinematic was the key word for the whole album anyway. Well, originally I was supposed to be the bass player for this band, so it can be still a bit intimidating, or at least as a thought of walking there and not having an instrument in your hands and pretending that you're like the reborn Jim Morrison or whatever. But no, I don't think the only charismatic person I've ever met in my life, actually I didn't meet her, but I saw her, was Skin from Skunk Nancy. We were playing this festival somewhere in Europe and had this big backstage area, all the artists were there hanging out, and then she came out, she was there like 30 feet that way, like just came out, started opening up her voice, and all of a sudden everybody's heads turned. All big bands of people had just turned that way, even they couldn't hear anything what she was doing. She was just so, you know, magnetic with her appearance. So that's charisma. But, you know.